Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Short Term Rental Pacifier, the podcast where we dive into tips, tricks, and strategies to maximize your rental income and make it more passive. I'm your host, Landon Smith, and today we're exploring a topic I actually get a lot of questions on and a lot of pushback on: why short term rental design matters for more money. I've got a really good case study here, and then I'll show some numbers, some before and after pictures, and they do not lie. It's like you hear me say this a lot. It is not one big thing, it's a lot of little things that make a difference. So, we recently had a client sell his short term rental to another investor intending to keep it as a short term rental. The previous owner is also a seasoned real estate investor. He's a broker, happens to be one of my closest friends. And given that he's one of the top brokers in Colorado, he's very good at selling homes. I've certainly been guilty of this in the past, but a lot of times real estate professionals, again, myself included, think that just because we're good at one thing, it inherently makes us good at other things within real estate. And that's just not true. And so the person purchasing this property is much like my friend and I. He's done well in real estate. He's built homes. He's in the construction industry. And it just so happens that his wife and my wife's partner own a design company. It's called Element 321 Design, specialize in not only interior design, but also interior and exterior design in terms of materials, colors, hardware, doors, etc. So the new owner came to me a little irritated actually because his wife wanted him to redo the home. He said, I'm already spending all this money. It's already doing well. Why do I need to spend this much? Take the time. And honestly, he's right. It had done very well and had consistently beat the market since we started managing it. I told him, however, since my company started, I did my own duplex, and it was funny because I did the finishes on one side, and my wife, the designer, did a design on the other side. And a year into it, a year later, her side that she designed had made almost $20,000 more than the one where I picked out all the interior finishes like artwork, rugs, etc. So, in my opinion, I said, stay with what you're good at, which is not design, and let your wife and my wife, I guess, redo this property. And to be fair, this property did not look bad at all. The numbers showed it. It just hadn't been designed by a professional. So, why does that design matter so much when it comes to short-term rentals? And it goes beyond just getting clicks. And here's a few reasons, and then we'll get into the pictures and the numbers of why investing in a good designer can lead to higher earnings. First, the first impressions matter. Your listing photos are your first impression. You don't get a second chance to make that first impression. When you have a professional designer putting it together, the spaces look more inviting, they look more professional. Those obviously lead to more bookings, a higher nightly rate, and people are just willing to pay more for a place that looks like it's straight out of a magazine. So you'll get the increased bookings, but it also attracts more views, converts those into bookings, and guests are looking for experience. They're looking for a stylish, they're looking for comfort, functionality, the environment. If your rental looks better than the competition, you're likely going to see an increase in your booking rate and or your occupancy rate. You're also going to get better reviews. Guests leave great reviews, and great reviews lead to more bookings. It's interesting that Airbnb takes, in particular, they'll take the reviews, and based on what those reviews say, they'll put your property into 10% of the market or 5%, or you're the top 1%. Even if you had, say a property, two properties, everything's the same, both have 5-star reviews, 100 5-star reviews. If the 5-star reviews on, property A are more genuine, they're more thoughtful from the guest, that's going to rank higher than the property B that maybe just has great stay, 5-star review. So what those reviews say are very, very important. You also, this is interesting, we get less damage when we have them professionally designed and they look good. We found that over the years, guests generally take better care of our properties if they feel like you take really good care of your property. So like the better it shows in photos and real life, the better they treat it. It's kind of like when you walk through an expensive store with your kids, you're more careful in the breakable section than you are, say, in a toy store. You're also more likely to get longer stays. So if a guest is going to stay somewhere for an extended period of time, they're more likely to do that in a house that looks really good online and then also feels that way when they get there. The short-term rental market has gotten really competitive. The more unique and well-designed your space can be is going to set it apart from, say, the cookie cutter properties where they don't have professional photos and things like that. So it's not just about the artwork, not just about the paint colors, it's how they tie into the functionality and the essentials. And that's what designers are really, really good at doing. The comfortable beds, the comforters, the sheets, the way they look, the way they feel, the lighting, the personal touches, like the unique pieces of art, the local decor, thoughtful little things around like the coffee makers and things like that. These things, I'm terrible at doing these things. So I'm so glad my wife is a designer. Um, they're really good at keeping it clean, decluttered, and just photographing really well. And that's another huge thing is you can have all the design in the world and have it look good. If you don't hire a professional photographer, you're doing yourself and the designer and your property, your asset, a huge disservice. So with all that said, we've got this PowerPoint up. Pretty cool. So let's take a look at some numbers before and after photos first, and we'll see what the numbers actually say. So does the design make a difference? I'll show you again, property did not look bad before. So this is the before picture, professional photography, got the twilight shoot, got the sunset in there, looks great exterior. And this is the after. So you can see they painted, did a little bit of landscaping, some exterior lighting, things like that. This looks really good. Both look really good. This is before living room, and this was the after living room. So you got all new furniture. I got the lamps, got the little fake plants and all that kind of stuff in there. It looks really good. This is before living room again. And then we've got after living room. And we got this dining area again. Doesn't look bad. Got a nice table, artwork in there. Uh, And you see in this one, they put the curtains up. You got the same furniture, but they got this little, I don't know what you call it, little bar cart area in there. It looks really good. Trash can. Again, there's not a ton of work that was done here, just these minor tweaks. Here was the kitchen before. Didn't do much to the kitchen. In fact, my wife actually was the one who picked out the colors and stuff for this kitchen with the backsplash. So it looks really good here. But when you see this next photo, you see these little details, the knife holder, the paper towel holders, and the coffee pods are at, and things like that. The color pop on the stove. It looks really good. So bathroom before again looks good. Nothing wrong with this, but just changing out some towels and adding some soap and dispensers and things like that. I mean, it looks like, I mean, almost a different bathroom. It's crazy how good that looks. Here's a bedroom before. Here's the primary bedroom after. And then here was the secondary bedroom before with two double beds, I believe. And then they went with a king bed. You see little design pieces there, the hats, the curtains and things like that. It just photos better. Here was the entryway before, and then here was the entryway after. Here's a backyard outdoor space before, outdoor space after. Did some rocks and things like that. They cleaned it up a lot. And the backyard before, you see a little sitting area, and backyard after. Again, they painted the house, painted the back door as well. And so now we're gonna get into the numbers. So it was May 22nd through July 22nd of last year. The total revenue for this property, same property, was 5,157. And again, I want to reiterate that this was better than the rest of the market did. So this was not bad at all. 70% occupancy rate. That is not bad. We go to the same time frame this year, and we went to $10,922. So that is literally, I'm not really good with math, but I'm pretty sure that's more than double same time period. And again, caveat, we had just taken the property on early May of last year, so there weren't a whole lot of reviews coming into June and July. But these are crazy numbers when you consider that supply is actually up. Demand has not increased at the same rate supply has in the past year. So supply is up, and they're still doubling what this property did last year. And the only thing that has changed is the design and the decor inside. Nothing else has changed. So I hope that helps kind of shed some light on how much design can actually make a difference. It's pretty staggering. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please like it and follow it if you do. Now, if you have a short-term rental that you're looking for some help with optimizing your pricing, your efficiency, or getting the most money out of it as possible, please visit us at www.AirINN.life. We can give you some resources, and you can also hire us to do this for you if you'd like. But again, that is AIRINN.LIFE. And until next time, cheers.